Hey guys, Aubrey here. Today I'm doing the Eureka Math Grade 5 Module 4 Lesson 22 homework. So let's get started. Number 1, solve for the unknown. Rewrite each phrase as a multiplication sentence. Circle the scaling factor and put a box around the number of meters. Alright, so number 1, our scaling factor would be 1/3 for A. Because it says as long as, so 1/3 is our scaling factor. Or, okay, wait, hold on. Oops, circle. And the number of meters is 6, because it's 6 meters. 1/3 as long as 6 meters. So that's 1/3 times 6. Can do 6 over 1. So 3 and 6 cancel out, and you would get 2. So the answer is 2 meters. And B, 6 times as long as 1/3 meter. So 6 is now our scaling factor, and number of meters is 1/3. 6 times 1/3, because 6 times as long as the 1/3. So 6 and 3 cancel out, so you should get 2. Now number 2 says draw a tape diagram to model each situation, problem 1, and describe what happened to the number of meters when it was multiplied by the scaling factor. So A, we have 1/3 as long as 6 meters. So we had 6 meters, and then we can split into thirds. So each of these is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Each of the 1/3 is 2, because we did 1/3 times 6. So what happened to the number of meters when it's multiplied? Well, the number of meters decreased since we were multiplying by a fraction less than 1. So we can say the number of meters decreased since we multiplied by a number less than 1. And for B, we have 6 times as long as 1/3. So that's 1/3 6 times. One third, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and that's 6/3, which is 2. So now this is 2. This is 6 times as much as 1/3. So what happened to number of meters? The number of meters increased here since we multiplied by a number greater than 1. Alright, so what this all means is that when you multiply a number by 1, you get the number itself. But when you're multiplying it by a number less than 1, then of course your answer would be less than the original number itself. But however, if you're multiplying by a number greater than 1, then your answer should be greater than the number you began with. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment down below, and I will reply and answer your question, hopefully help you. Alright, number 3, fill in the blank with a numerator or denominator to make the number sentence true. So A, 5 times something thirds is greater than 5. Alright, so we just talked about, so any number times 1 would be equal to that number. So if we want to multiply 5 by something that will end up greater than 5 itself, then we must multiply by a number greater than 1. And we see that our denominator is 3. So we know that if we have the same number as our numerator and denominator, then that fraction is 1. So for example, if we put 3/3, that's equal to 1. So we want something greater than 1. So what we want here, we want an improper fraction. So you can use any number, like you can use 4, 5, 6, 7, so on. So let's use 5, because why not? So this would be greater than 5. And now B, 6 times 12 is less than 12. Okay, so now we want our product to be less than the original number, 12. So we must multiply by something that is less than 1. So we need a number that is greater than 6 here, because if we wrote 6, then that 6 would be equal, and that would equal 1, and we want something that's less than 1. So we can just do 8 maybe, 6/8. Multiply by 12, that would be less than 12. Alright, now see, 4 times something equals 4. So we want to end up with the same number, so we have to multiply it by 1. So if we have 5 as our denominator, we need 5 as our numerator as well. So yeah. And by the way, if you guys are watching this, please like and subscribe, because why aren't you guys liking and subscribed yet? I said like and subscribe. And feel free to comment if you guys have any questions. Alright, number 4. Look at the inequalities in each box. Choose a single fraction to write in all 3 blanks, so that would make all 3 number sentences true. Explain how you know. So what we want to do here, we want to choose one fraction, and we can't change it. We need to keep that fraction to fit in all 3 equations, and we want to make sure that fraction works for all 3 equations. So it will make all these number sentences true. So we look at them. 2/3 times blank is greater than 2/3. 4 times blank is greater than 4. 5/3 times blank is greater than 5/3. So all of these number sentences, these 3, we must end up with a number greater than the number before. So again, if we multiplied each of these by 1, they would end up as the same number. But that's not what we want here. We want a number greater than the number before. So if we want a number greater than the number before, we must multiply by a number that's greater than 1. So we want an improper fraction here. And you can do, there's honestly multiple answers, but let's see, I'm going to do, let's do 6/3. 6/3. 6/3. So 6/3, if you notice, can be simplified into 2. So 6/3 is basically 2. So these number sentences would be true. Now let's look at B. 2/3 times blank is less than 2/3. 4 times blank is less than 4. 5/3 times blank is less than 5/3. Alright, so we should notice a pattern here, that the number, we want our answer to be less than the number before. So we know to do that, we want a number less than before, we must multiply by a number less than 1. So here, we just need a fraction where our numerator is less than our denominator. So let's see, I'm just going to do 2/3. You guys can put other fractions as well. There's honestly so many answers. As long as your numerator is less than your denominator, then all of these number sentences would be true. Alright, next page. Number 5. Write a number in the blank that will make the number sentence true. 3 times blank is less than 1. So first of all, what times 3 is 1? So if we put 3 as a denominator, that's 1/3 times 3. 3 and 3 cancel out, so that's 1. So now we know if we want something less than 1, we need a fraction less than 1/3. So a fraction less than 1/3, what about 1/4? 3 times 1/4, that's 3/12, which is less than 1. So that can work. Alright, B, explain how multiplying by a whole number can result in a product less than 1. Alright, so what we want to know is that when you multiply a whole number, you can get a product less than 1 because, for example, up here we multiply by 3, which is a whole number, but we end up getting 3/12, which is less than 1. So why that is because if you multiply a whole number by a number that is less than 1, then you'll get a number less than 1 most of the time. Pretty much. So if you multiply by a fraction, then you can sometimes get a product less than 1. You say, if you multiply a whole number by by a fraction less than 1, your product can be less than 1. And notice how I said can be less than 1, because not always will it be less than 1. For example, if I take 6 and multiply by a fraction less than 1, 1/3, 3 and 6 can cancel out and make 2, and 2 is not less than 1. So you have to be careful that you don't mess that part up. So it can sometimes be less than 1, but not always. Number 6, in a sketch, a fountain is drawn 1/4 yard tall. The actual fountain will be 68 times as tall. How tall will the fountain be? So times as tall, that's multiplication right there. 68 over 1 times 1/4. 68 and 4 cancel out. 60 divided by 4 is, 17. So then you'll get 17 over 1, which is 17. So the actual fountain is 17 yards. Wait, did I do the abbreviation wrong? Yeah, I just write the whole thing. Alright, number 7. In blueprints, an architect's firm drew everything 1/24 of the actual size. The windows will actually measure 4 feet by 6 feet, and doors measure 12 feet by 8 feet. What are the dimensions of the windows and doors in the drawing? 1/24, so we have to find 1/24 of each measurement. So first we can do windows. So first 4, so it's 4 by 6, 1/24 times 4. 4 and 24 cancel out, so you get 1/6. And the 6 feet, 1/24 times 6 over 1, cancel out, so you get 1/4. So really the window is 1/6 foot by 1/4 foot. And now the door, okay, 1/24 times 12 over 1. Cancels out, you get 1/2. And 1/24 now times the 8. 1/3. So the door is 1/2 feet by 1/3 foot. So that is the measurement dimensions of the drawing. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and please don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps out my channel. See you guys next time. Bye!